All right, welcome everyone. Welcome back to the show. Today I have Zoltan with me, who is also the founder of Hipther, and I'm super excited to have you here, Zoltan. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Nice to be here, Annie. Thank you so much for the invite. It's very hard to be on the other side, not being the host of a podcast, but I've been doing a couple of these for the past months, so I'm trying to get used to it. Hi guys, my name is Zoltan Tundik. I'm the co-founder and head of business of Hipther. We are a leading media and events company in Europe, and we cover iGaming, fintech, blockchain, and other emerging technologies. We have over a decade of experience in the industries and have had the opportunity to witness the evolution of iGaming from multiple angles, from the content creation part to event creation, networking with the top professionals across the world, and my focus is mostly on fostering the high value industry discussions and ensuring that our content and conferences provide meaningful insights for the stakeholders and all the participants in the events.
That's amazing. How did you start in iGaming in the first place?
Got started in 2007 as an affiliate working for the casino, poker and sports betting industry. And in 2015, we actually shifted away from the affiliate marketing and entered the B2B sphere, covering suppliers, regulation updates. And from then on, it was all about B2B, no longer focusing on the affiliates part.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to get to affiliate marketing just in the moment, but I know that iGaming is a very heavily regulated industry. Also, there's a lot of money into it, going with, betting, casinos. It's like historically, I think casinos has always attracted people from all walks of life. But going into 2025, now that we are in the beginning of the year, what type of trends do you see coming up? Anything new or anything?
Nothing really new, because regulation in the iGaming sphere is very hard, given the fact that there are different regions have different regulation. Even in the EU, with the 28 countries, each of them having their own regulation, it makes task for operators and suppliers not an easy one, because you need to comply with every law, not to mention then you need to comply with the financial part as well. So it's crazy. But yeah, I think that 2025 will bring changes in terms of the leveraging of AI-driven marketing, chatbots, data analytics that can improve customer engagement, and of course help with the compliance, because gone are the days when you needed to install lots of plugins on your website to know where your visitors are coming from, to just provide them with the language or geolocation. Now you need to also provide them with a landing page that is licensed by the regulator in that certain country. So it's a bit difficult, not to mention some of the countries don't have a legislation in place, given the fact that we don't really cover Asia. But I know that there's not regulation in place in just a few countries there. We had the South Korean regulator at our conference 1 year to study how things work in Europe, and I'm glad to know that the Filipino sweepstakes office is coming to Prague this year with a huge delegation to learn more about legislation in Europe. Probably they want to copy some things, but definitely in terms of regulation, the Latin America, Africa, and certainly Asia are regions that are seeing regulatory shifts that open new business opportunities. So I would say that those are the main attractions this year, because Europe is no longer an attraction, given that most of the countries have already regulated. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So these are the emerging markets now, and in terms of Europe, we see regulatory tightening, which is not good, especially in markets like the UK, Germany, and the Netherlands, where they are enforcing stricter compliance, while North America continues their gradual state-by-state expansions, which is good. We can expect advertising restrictions and stricter responsible gaming measures in mature markets, like I said, in Europe. Another thing I want to point out here is blockchain and crypto regulation, because this is something that is going to shape 2025. We've seen Trump's announcement about with their about crypto, which is probably going to lead to different things happening around the world. EU has the MiCA in place, which also it's based on cryptocurrencies. So we will see with the rise of crypto-friendly operators, it's high time we see many operators to start accepting crypto. Regulators who will work to bring a clearer framework for, let's say, responsible blockchain-based gambling, because that's the future.
Okay, yeah. I know that for my country, for example, Vietnam, like straight up illegal to do any gambling, and many that encourages people, unfortunately, to go to other countries to do that. But do you see that it's an advantage or disadvantage that the emerging marketing iGaming now is not the richer countries? So you mentioned that Northern America, Netherlands, Germany, UK, they're all tightening up their regulation, where assuming most of the spending had been. But I also heard from another podcast that Brazil and Africa is an emerging market for iGaming now. Is it something good? Is it something bad? Or is it just normal?
Yeah, it is. So North America is not cutting down. North America actually is they opening state by state, which is good. There's since it's the gold rush in the U.S., somehow we can call it for the marketeers it's kind of over, because for 2 years now the CPA has been huge. Like they have been spending maybe $5,000 to $10,000 per player acquisition, which is never going to come back to them. They're just like every operator was investing heavily in attracting players to their database. But if they have deposit bonuses and other operators, it's much easy. Like you open an account, deposit, get the deposit bonus, then go over to the next one. So this has proved not worthy for them. So they are now looking at maybe analyzing the data and trying to recover those players. But let's say that Brazil started the licensing in January. We have been covering the news. Many of the operators and suppliers have got license already. So that's the biggest market in Latin America, which will probably follow on with the rest of the American countries. It's interesting to see that the industry has been watching that area closely for the past years, and now the benefits are going to be reaped finally. So that's about it.
I see. All right, let's move on to some marketing strategies, because that's also some of the focus on our show. Is well, iGaming is also lucrative, but also highly competitive. As you just mentioned, like the CPA of one player had gone up to thousands of dollars, which is like insane, just to get a user on a platform, right? But now, like, you've been very experienced. What are some of the marketing strategies that operators can do, or they do already, to stand out in this competitive market? So thinking like paid ads or organic, even networking. I mean, you were on a conference and stuff. So could you give us some insight on that?
Yeah, so I would advise, and some are doing great, is to invest in trust and transparency, because that is one of the key factors nowadays. Being a real brand rather than hiding behind a brand nobody knows who they can trust behind that. Given the fact that compliance, in terms of licensing, has expanded throughout the world, and many countries have a legal framework and a licensing scheme already in place, somehow educated the players that they're no longer accessing these websites from the black market with no trust in them, without knowing where their money goes. We can have a look at, let's say Bet365 and Kindred Group, who have prioritized responsible gaming and compliance, while they also maintain a strong brand presence. So this is something as an example to be taken. Also build strong multi-channel marketing strategies, like Stake.com did, which is very interesting. We've been covering news from them. They have leveraged the crypto and the influencer partnerships and have an aggressive branding to become a major player in the space, and always telling people to watch out. these guys are serious. Maybe also try to differentiate between gamification and retention, something we will talk about in Prague and later on in this year in Vilnius and Warsaw. We have companies like Casumo, Jackpot Joy, who have been leveraging on this, and they use loyalty programs, challenges, and personalized events to keep players engaged, to coming back and stay on their website. So another thing, maybe like localized market efforts, something that I would consider.
What would
So
it be like?
brands that dominate multiple regions. You see these large brands, Betson, Betway. They all tailor marketing messages and promotions to fit cultural and regulatory landscapes. They cannot use the same type of advertising translated in different parts of the world. They need to consider the traditions. Like you cannot go to Asia and start advertising about like what we have in Europe.
Yeah.
Nobody will understand it, and the other way around. We know that the Asian gaming industry is very colorful, something that is somehow not that well taken in the, let's say, Eastern European part of the world, because this is where mostly traditional colors and like maybe strong colors are just like in focus for the branding, and in Asia it's very colorful and
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I was surprised to hear about the iGaming industry too, but I can just see that traditional advertising here in at least Southeast Asia is hyper color focused. So every single ad would have like a leading color, and it would just be bright as hell. Like, yeah, I can see that. Whereas if I compare it to like a US commercial, it's pretty simple, but it gives it a really aggressive vibe. I cannot really explain it really well, but it lessens.
So that's not done not correctly.
Okay. I mean, I think it works for other industries as well, but the color stuff I picked up on, not just in iGaming then, but also in regular traditional advertising that I see.
All right, so that's about it in a nutshell about these marketing strategies.
Now going into like just tactics and stuff. So if I was to run Facebook ads, right, like there must be like a bunch of regulations for me to run an ad. Are there like any tricks where people don't directly say that they're gonna do gambling, or are they attracting users a different way?
There are, of course, the regulations are very strict about it, but there probably are tactics out there being used by affiliates that somehow escape that. I would not encourage this, of course, but hey, it's a free world. Everybody can do what they want. So that's my point of view on that.
So our company is specialized in SEO and search engine marketing in general, and we always look into how Google behaves for organics, and we noticed that in the past 2 years, Google explicitly said that they punish affiliates really hard if they just don't act or don't even look like a real business. So thousands of websites tanked. People had to shut down their businesses, not just in iGaming, of course, but like other industries as well. How do you see that on your network, how that affected other operators?
All right. So before answering this question, I would like to go back to your earlier question about these strategies, because something escaped me. It's about the sponsorships and partnerships, where you tie sports leagues to an influencer, ensuring that compliance in the regional guidelines is set. So that's one way of doing advertisement on social media. And you need to do like community engagement and social media, where operators can focus on organic social strategies that bypass the strict advertising rules. And of course, we have to mention the AI-driven marketing and segmentation, where you can target players with personalized, non-intrusive promotions based on the behavioral data that you have. So I forgot to add this to the earlier. And about Google, it's we had a couple of podcasts and articles about this. It's been many updates in the past year at Google, a lot, and a lot more will come, focusing on that EEAT score, which is now everybody knows it. It's strange. These AI overviews are very effective, but you need to use them very strategically in terms to also have some gains from it. We learned this because our website, one of our websites, Google News Publisher website, since 2018 when we launched it, and we thought that, oh wow, we're going to have so much traffic from that. But no, it doesn't mean that you will get many traffic from that. People will just like have the trust that you're a Google News partner, and then just move on to the next website. And it's also the same with this AI overview results receiving, because nobody, maybe like 10% of the people will click on the link to see more. Otherwise, they just read the part on the top, and that's it. They move on.
Yeah.
So yeah, Google's latest updates have had a severe impact on low value affiliate websites, but not all of them. But every time there's a Google update, some of them escape. But those that lacked unique content, did not provide real value beyond promotional links, or weren't structured as actual businesses, got penalized and ranked lower. Coming back to that EEAT factor, this is something that has to be considered for these websites, because you need to have a person behind that who is real, not just like, because we can generate a lot of content with AI now. There's lots of review websites that are based. It's not a problem, but at least if you're adding that prompt, you need to add it with your own experience, rather than just somebody coming from the street and talking about iGaming websites without not even knowing what the parts are that are need to consider, like payment methods, licensing, etc. They just like have the review up there and that's it. And then they wonder why they got penalized. So yeah, and traffic and conversation rates from affiliates have also dropped, because now operators are demanding higher quality partners that have real authority. No longer you just like have a website and you can just like apply it to become an affiliate. They will probably accept you, but they don't give you the best deal. And yes, SEO strategies have evolved. They are evolving continuously. Brands are investing in their own content hubs, social media, and direct traffic. More focus we've seen is going in the brand building, because that's what's important now. That's because operators are working with these high-valued affiliates, like I said, who can offer real industry insights rather than just like have these generic betting promotions with get a free spin and stuff like that.
Yeah. So do you see that affiliates now are moving away from organic marketing to maybe paid ones? Did you see that trend happening, or are they still staying on organic traffic?
Most of them are doing the organic traffic, the bigger ones. The real ones are doing organic traffic because their brand is now everywhere, since Google scraped out the competition with the low value content. So I guess, yeah, most of their traffic comes from organic. We had many ex-Google team members join our conferences having keynotes, and we will have one in Prague again. They always say it takes time, but if you do it right, it will be the best end game, because otherwise you will just like go up and then fall down.
Yeah. As you mentioned, with all the high CPAs and stuff, so it totally makes sense. And yes, that's a great perspective as well to see, to kind of like shift the narrative, other than like, hey, Google punished us. Actually, Google just took away all your bad competition. Now you have less people to compete with.
Exactly.
Which is also a pretty encouraging note for all affiliates in the iGaming and gaming space. And let's talk about Hipther. So I know that your company also does a lot of content marketing, storytelling. What had worked for you guys? What drives your company to this much of content?
So we do operate, we own 18 websites. Some of them are in a circuit where they pick up the news one side from the other, but spins it in another way for that certain audience. We have been always bragging about the fact that our content, usually if we receive a press release, goes out first in the iGaming industry, and we don't have a paywall up, so every partnership or every news comes for free for our audience. We actually did not invest. We invested zero in terms of link building on our website, the main website. And we have 9 million links directing towards us, coming from all around the world, from big outlets like CNN, BBC, you name it. It's just based on the trust that they have for our brand. We also started now working on some hubs for iGaming on European gaming, where we highlight the interviews and the op-eds that we create, but also the podcast episode that focus on iGaming, because our podcast 100% focus on iGaming. It also focuses on different industries. Let's say maybe 25% of that is iGaming. So we try to highlight those episodes on these hubs. I could say short form video content can drive a lot of traffic, where we have these clips from conferences or interviews, panel highlights that we have from our conferences, infographics and data storytelling we did not do. Because we leave it up to the experts. We don't have the time to do that. So if somebody approaches us that they have a research or infographic about certain markets, we just like check it and podcast definitely. The expert Q&As we have on our websites have proved that they are bringing good traffic. And another thing we started doing this year was on Hipther, because that's also a news website. We cover multiple industries. Is that we started doing these series of daily articles separately for the blockchain, separately for the fintech, AI, and cybersecurity, where we highlight the main news of the day rather than publishing maybe let's say 10 stories. We publish some of the press releases, but we publish one where we cover everything that happened that day. And these are the drivers where like we've seen 14 minutes of engagement on these articles, which is huge.
What would be a title? Would it be like a day in a life of someone, or
No,
like
there's
or like what is this? What is
no.
this type of
This is actually listing all the let's blockchain, all the things that happened in blockchain that day, which
also
company
the
partnered
news
with.
thing? Like
Exactly.
here's what you missed in blockchain.
Exactly.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, it's a lengthier one
Yeah.
where you can read everything in one article without just like going throughout different articles and increased engagement a lot. And yeah, leadership articles, we publish that a lot, that we're brands that provide genuine insights and value rather than just like direct promotions of people giving us demos of their products, which is not nice. That's what we tried to avoid in the past 10 years with our conferences. We don't allow like having sponsors coming to the conference and having a keynote about just like their because you need to tell at least some case scenarios that you did and some clients and about what actually happened, not just demo your content, because that's not content.
Correct, yes. I also organize a big event here in Saigon, and we try to keep our sponsorship keynotes or even the 15-minute snippets very value driven. And now it's becoming more standard practice in some conferences, but I can still see that a lot of people just like, hey, buy my stuff. Even speakers sometimes. No, even speakers do it actually too.
Yeah, they do.
Yes. Amazing. I see that you guys invest so much in the original content. So how big is your team to keep up with all this content you just shared with me?
We actually have a team of 12 people now that work on the content. And, yeah.
Wow, that's insane. Yeah.
They do work a lot.
Yeah, they do work. Okay. And how much AI you guys use? Probably not much, right? Because if it's all news, then cannot be more.
We use AI quite a lot for like type copywriting, the typo searching. We also use it to digest the big news before we publish an article. Because when you, like I told you about these articles where we have 10, 15 news added to one big article, you need to be very careful how to add it. So we use AI for that. Of course, it's made our life very easy, but also made it more complicated, because now we can maybe say in the 8-9 hours that we work, we do much more than before and then feel tired after that. But that's evolution.
It is. It is the AI evolution. I also complicate things with trying to automate half of our work, but then the automation breaks or something and nobody understands what's going on. So I'm on the same page.
The hard part,
Yeah, yes, amazing. So before we close off, Zoltan, so first, thank you so much for sharing all your knowledge and experience with us. Lastly, would you like to share one advice that would give for your younger self?
Wow, this is a surprise question.
I
Hang
like
in
that.
there. That's my
Hang there.
advice. Yeah.
Okay, keep going, hang in there. No,
Yeah,
just keep going.
yeah, exactly. And then this is my advice to every startup out there. Times
Mhm.
will get better. Don't worry. This is the way things work. Don't over stress it because yeah, it was hard when we got started. We had seen bumps in the road. Everybody sees them, so you just need to hang in there and then and stay focused.
That's a great advice. Thank you so much, Zoltan.
Thank you.
All right, see you in Prague.
See you in Prague. Bye.
Bye.